Welcome to another episode of Hello Day with me, Shiko Kaitane. Our social media handles are still the same. You'll see them scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Please give us a like and also subscribe to this particular channel. If you feel that, by the way, there's people out there missing out on some of these great conversations, we encourage you, okay, to shoot these links to all those that, by the way, that you think are going to definitely benefit from what we chat about right here on the podcast. So go ahead, subscribe, like, and even leave us a comment so that we know if we're doing a good job. Okay, so we're still on our domestics series, okay? This is one that we're dedicating to households out there, helping you manage better with your domestic managers in mind. She's been here on one particular episode and she's back again. Yvonne Akinyi, who is an advocate for domestic workers' rights. We love her story. We're even going to continue this series with her as she continues to divulge more about her past and even her experience as a domestic manager. But just judging from some of the comments and the kind of questions that people tend to shoot out on social media platforms, one of the key issues with domestic managers is health cover. And Yvonne, welcome back for another episode on our podcast.
Thank you.
Okay, last one was great. This one, I believe, also a pretty good discussion that we're about to have. And just tell me from back then, as you were a domestic manager at that particular time, did it ever cross your mind vitu za NHIF zilikuwa muhimu?
Honestly, during that time, it had never crossed my mind because I used to think that mambo za NHIF, SHA, these are things that people from some good salaries, people from the corporate world, these hizi ni vitu zao.
Yeah.
But now, being in a different field, different area, I really feel the need for it. It's very important for mostly house managers.
Yeah.
It's very important.
What are some of the scariest cases you've come across with medical emergencies when it comes to domestic workers? What have you seen out there from your experience?
Wow. I've encountered various. Being in my position as a placement officer, I work with domestic workers. My line entails working with domestic workers on a daily basis, their employers, and one of the emerging trends has been need for having a medical cover because this really stabilizes the domestic workers. They can be really performing nice at work, but they are not stable because their dependents their dependents maybe are sick. That will disorient them totally. So I believe there is need for having a medical, as a domestic worker, for having a medical cover because even we have cases whereby families or relatives of these domestic workers exploit them because they know that at the end of the day, this house manager needs someone, a caregiver, to take care of their dependents. And this is the only opportunity they can use. Faking illness. Faking illness still lies in this. We'll still talk about faking illness. Because now the people taking care of dependents of these domestic workers really exploit them a lot. Someone can call you and say, mtoto alikuwa anacheza akaanguka amevunjika mkono. There is no way you can prove. You can't keep on telling them, send me a photo I want to see, because first, that one will already start creating issues between you two.
Yes, so trust issues.
Trust issues. So you'll definitely, maybe sometimes unajua, deep down unajua unachezwa, but you just agree to it. You send them money.
Or you send them your cover number. Like your card, and tell them to me a he card.
Yeah, but
if you had it, that is there.
But if you have cover, it can be very easy. Even the relatives won't take advantage of you.
So it's good to have the cover, because what's happening now is that watu ushago or whatever are taking advantage of domestic workers, or they're exploiting them. Okay.
Yeah. So it's very important. And also, domestic workers, just as other employees, work in a very compromising situation, and also they need that because of the nature of their work, they need they need protection, because anyone can come across an accident, can get an accident, but this domestic worker, on a daily basis, she's there in the kitchen. Like recent, I was sharing with a friend this morning that they had an event, a party last weekend, and as the house manager was preparing some meals, do you know, they can't really tell what happened, but they got burnt in the face.
Oh no.
Yeah. So sometimes their working conditions really need a lot of protection, just as the rest of us, the employees.
Right, right. And so you don't see the value of it until the emergency comes, because what do you do with someone who's not your relative, who's not your dependent, na amegonjeka, and they need to go to hospital now?
First of all, you as an employer, or me as an employer, it will disorient me. We don't keep cash with us all the time. Like personally, I do have a medical cover.
Yeah.
Like, because we can't anticipate at this time round, mtagonjeka, mtoto atagonjeka. Just the same way that you got yourself covered. It's the same way you should have your house manager covered, because what will happen when they fall sick in the middle of the night? Yeah. You don't have any cash with you. How will you handle the situation? Right. So, I really advocate for getting medical covers for our house managers.
So is it upon you to either be doing their deposits monthly, or what works best? Do you want to empower the individual fully by giving them their salary plus something on top for their medical cover? If they are paying SHA every month, X amount, you should top it up. Or should you be the one to actually make the deposits for them? I've seen cases where people say
it's a matter of discussion. You can agree. You can have an agreement between the two of you. Yeah. Who will be doing that? You can, because sometimes you might not be getting the time. Maybe some of the deposit needs to be physical. Yeah. And so we have some that need to be in form of transfers and pesa. So you can always have that agreement. We can agree with them that maybe I'll be topping up your salary with 500 or 1,000. Yeah. Please, this one, ensure that it caters for your share. Right. And it's not only about making the deposit, but also sharing that knowledge. Because most of the domestic workers that does not have knowledge about the importance of medical cover. Right. Not until an emergency or you have such an occurrence. So it's important not only to support them financially for the cover, but also to disseminate that information to
and
them.
Push them also. Yes, push them. And inquire. Have you registered? If
possible, confirm.
Yeah, confirm. Yeah, if it's there. Yeah. Yvonne, I've actually seen cases whereby there's bad blood between a housee and their employer, simply because the employer was not in a position to assist. I couldn't even believe that could have been a case, because someone is like, when tajiri na kufanyia kazi, what do you mean you couldn't even help me nikienda hosi? And truth be told, this individual did not have money to cater to that bill. And it was serious beef. It's like, I've been working for you, and I mean, it's the least you could have done for me. Yani, you couldn't even sort out for me my bill. Wow.
These house managers, let us make them one of us. Let us make them part of our families. Remember that they're the people who take care of our households. That they are the people who take care of our children. Yeah. They manage a lot of millions, because we leave them home with goods worth a lot of millions. All right. Have you ever thought of what will happen if this person becomes sick? Maybe to an extent they cannot take care of your child. Will you manage to skip a day or two impromptu from work? It will really be difficult.
It will be chaotic.
Because I normally say that domestic workers are the backbone of this country's economy. True. Just try to imagine one day each and every domestic worker decide that leo ni siku yetu, pia sisi tunaenda kwa street, haki yetu. Maandamano. Just imagine of that.
It would be crazy.
It will be chaotic.
Because you see this, if you go into the corporate space, your boss doesn't know anything personal about you.
Yeah.
But imagine in the back of your mind, you cannot carry your millions and your goods worth thousands. Unabeba nazo unaingia kwa ofisi. But the person working for you can beba those things and go out with them. So you start wondering, wait, all the things that have sentimental value, whether it's your clothes, whatever is so important to you, your jewelry, the cash that you're even talking about, even your child can actually walk out with your child. It really puts things into perspective about where you need to position them in your life.
So it's really important. And just as during our last episode, once we have things like medical cover, actually we won't have the excuses such as mtoto amegonjeka. We will have minimal cases. Because this person, tell me why a person that you've made them one of you, part of your family, you're even, even if you are not doing their medical cover, you are not paying for their medical cover monthly, but at least you are ensuring that
they're up to date.
They're up to date to support them in each and every way possible. This person, would they have a reason of even wanting to live? At least
it's very unlikely.
Yeah, it's very unlikely to happen. So there is need for that information, for us giving them that information and supporting them where necessary. And
some sensitivity.
Yes, and not only in medical cover, but also in financial literacy, because it's one of the major challenges for domestic workers.
Right.
Most of our domestic workers have a lot of people back there at home they are supporting.
Right.
To an extent that they cannot manage their finances. They are always in debt.
Yeah.
Which leads to them not being mentally stable at their work.
And we see that a lot. Kwanza ukiwa na dem, by the way, ama mama at home who is constantly asking you for a loan, an advance, this, and I think we need to have an episode on that about financial literacy for domestic workers. But I mean, that kind of ties into it. It's like you can literally see someone's head is not here.
Yeah.
Because they are just thinking, mtoto ni mgonjwa, money needs to be sent here, money needs to be sent there. And you're wondering what's going on. And she's always like, mama so-and-so, aki please decide in advance, or please nitumie nini kakitu. It goes to show a lot. It goes to show a lot. It's just that they don't want to, involve you in their personal matters.
Yeah, and it reaches a point whereby they feel that they've been overburdened or they're asking for too much.
Yeah.
It reaches a point whereby some of them decide that I'll steal.
Yeah. It's pushing them to do things. Because there's no other outlet. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really important to put that aspect of medical cover into consideration.
Right. Yeah. Right. I'm just wondering, even as part of your organization, when you talk about, the simple covers that we see typically in other industries, for example, construction. I mean, you're not going to be able to put up this building without certain permits and ensuring there's all safety measures and protocols being observed. And I wonder if we could have the same mentality around our households, because do these ladies know that it's important for me to understand that I can break my leg washing someone's bathroom? We've seen so many cases of them sleeping and saying, but then nilianguka, lakini niko sawa, niliumia tu kidogo. And you're like, oh my God, that could have been worse.
Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine someone breaking their leg, cleaning my bathroom. They don't know.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know. And also there is a gap. Even some of us employers feel like, at the end of the day, I'm paying her a monthly salary. Why should I even care whether she has a cover or not? Remember, this person works for you.
Yeah.
She's part of you. And in order for her to perform, she needs to be mentally, physically stable, emotionally stable.
Right.
When once one of them is missing, she won't perform. She won't perform, and you'll be having back and forth issues. So it's really important for you to check up on her in all angles.
Right.
Not only in terms of sinampea chakula, sinamlipa mshahara on time. No. But we look even in that angle of their the angle of medical cover.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you one thing, and I know for sure. Once a domestic worker will receive a call that unajua mtoto wangu asikii vizuri.
That is it.
Yeah.
Either they're out the door or they're completely incapacitated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's nothing happening in that house.
We can have options like we can talk to some medical some insurances. They do have this covered. You can have a cover. The other time we were having discussion and we noted that there is a cover that you can take for 300.
Oh wow.
Which you are able to, which is able to cater for 3 to 4 of your employees.
3 to 4 your employees. Oh, great.
Yeah. So there is no way like you can say that they are able to.
There are no options.
There are no options.
Yeah.
Like it's really advisable to let's have this conversation. Also, as employers, there is a place that we are missing out. There is that gap. There is that gap.
Yeah.
We don't value our workers.
And it all boils down to how much we value them.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I've seen cases, and there are quite a number of people who I know who insist on getting medical records. Yvonne, how do you navigate those kind of conversations with your clients who tell you, by the way, I cannot have someone unless I actually have their medical records? Is it compulsory? And also at the same time, is it also important? Because you could be coming with a particular condition, concealing it from me, and then now we have a lifelong set of issues with you if you're working for me, hopefully for the next 1 year or so. Yeah.
I can say it's a two-way traffic.
Yeah.
It's important to have the medical record. However, that person must have consent to it. Because we have cases whereby employers are the one pushing. They don't want they don't want to know why is this person not, they are not compliant to us maybe doing the medical records or all that.
Yeah.
Explain to them, tell them why you need to take the medical, you need to go through the medical record. Let them know the importance of it.
Right.
Yeah. Let them know that this thing will only, it's between you, because just as domestic workers, even some of us have some medical condition that we don't feel comfortable disclosing or other people knowing about it.
Right.
Yeah. Give them that room. Yeah. You don't have to force it that now hapa kwangu ni lazima na ni lazima, if they are willing and if they are comfortable with you knowing living with you. Yeah. With that condition, or you leaving them with the condition, well and good. If they are not, please don't force it. If they are not willing for you to know their medical
status or whatever,
please don't.
And you should be okay letting them go if at all you're not okay with it. Yeah. I think that's also important. I've been to a number of Huduma centers, obviously trying to onboard myself and family, just inquiring more about SHA and the entire registration process. And I mean, oh my gosh, yeah, it's been one hell of a ride. Successfully though, but one thing that I picked up at these Huduma centers is you notice how many casual laborers have walked in for self-registration. And Yvonne, I'm wondering, there are employers rather out there who would even not allocate a day for their domestic manager to take time to go to a Huduma center to register for that. What do you have to tell them?
I still insist on the importance of the well-being of your domestic workers.
Mpatie hiyo siku.
This is a person who lives in your house daily with goods worth millions, with your children, How will this person be able to deliver if they are sick, if they don't have money to go to the hospital?
Yeah. And by the way, there's people who are just feeling that pain. Hiyo uchungu of, yani umempatia them off, like, oh mama ameenda off for one day, like from 8 and she's coming back at 6 p.m. like in the middle of the week. How?
It's really important. There is, or even us as employers, there is a place we go wrong. We don't want to understand them. from my work, I can request for a day off. Maybe I might be having exams, or I have issues. I have registration or appointment at the immigration.
Unajaribu kuenda US, pia unatafuta visa.
I can't recall of a single day my employer denying me the opportunity. So even me as an employer of a domestic workers, I am supposed to give them opportunity, to give them that time to go do registration. It might not be only of medical cover, any other thing. Some of them go, sometimes they ask for a day off to go apply for a bursary for their children.
Right.
Yeah.
It's important.
It's important. We should give them time.
Yeah.
We should give them time.
Okay. I hear you. Even when it comes to situations about their well-being, I think it's also important to let domestic workers know how they can access this information. Because as much as fine, you as the employer, you're supposed to kind of take charge of their training. You're supposed to guide them and all that. It's impossible to be all these things in one, because again, the whole reason you hired them is because you need the help, because you have your own things going on. And so how do we encourage domestic workers to be a little bit more open and exposed, and to stop relying on TikTok for everything? Because all I see them is nilionanga Facebook, nilionanga TikTok. And I'm like, wow, they are more on TikTok than I am. You're like, where do you get the time to do this? But of course you understand why. Yeah. So how do you go about telling DMs to kind of changamkeni, Yeah.
First of all, we have now speaking from the organization that I work with.
Yeah.
What we've done in part of this training, the home care management course, we have something called life skills.
Yeah.
So we don't only train them on matters, cooking, laundry, childcare. There is also the life skills aspect of it. Under this life skills, and also we recently incorporated financial literacy.
Yeah.
Under this is whereby we tell them the importance of self-development. Because we even have some who want to go to school.
Yeah.
So we tell them the importance of self-development. We have some domestic workers who don't see the need of them having a medical cover. They feel like it's a waste of time. Hiyo 500 yangu kila mwezi na sitagonjeka, mimi sigonjekangi. So they feel like it's a waste of time and money. Right. So as an organization, we've taken that initiative to educate them, to tell them the importance of this thing, medical cover, importance of financial literacy, budgeting for that 15,000 that I get a month, prioritizing on the most urgent needs. As I'm not supposed to because I'm employed in Nairobi, to support my entire clan. Yeah. So there is that aspect that as an organization we've taken that role of educating them, because most of them don't have time even to attend these seminars. So and apart from that, we have various WhatsApp group with them, because we work in the informal settlements in Nairobi.
All right, and different silos, like you have little communities.
So we understand that most of the house managers are on. They're always on phone at night. So we.
Thank you for telling us that.
That is after work. So we organize for these forums. We try to teach them there is something called VAT, value added tax, in terms of of course I have this course of this certificate on home care management. What else can I do? What else can I incorporate into this?
All right.
So there is always that aspect of wanting to give them more knowledge, more information.
Correct. Okay, well, there you have it. We've actually inspired you, I hope, to get working on your domestic workers' welfare. It's so important to consider how they are going to actually tackle medical emergencies, and God forbid that there will be. But you know what? We just never know what the future holds. Indeed. Speaking about information, Center for Domestic Training and Development, CDTD, okay, is a great resource center. You can check them out online. And that's actually what Yvonne Akinyi is all part of, as an advocate for domestic workers. And you've had it for yourself. She's also a coach and also training a lot of DMs out there on how just to improve, on terms of their personal development. So go ahead and check out the Center for Domestic Training and Development. There's so much more coming up on our domestics series with Yvonne Akinyi. And of course, we'll be incorporating so much more. We want your feedback. We want you to send in some questions and even some of the topics that we ought to be tackling right here on Hello Day. Thanks so much for watching. Please give us a like and of course, subscribe to this particular channel. We also want to say a big thank you to our location partner, by the way. You can see them here. This is Jengaleo. Thank you so much. They've got 2 co-working spaces in Westlands and here in Kilimani. This is the brand new branch and we're going to call this home for quite a while. Yvonne, thanks so much. All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.